Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at the SH Monster Arts Shin Godzilla second and third form figures. Now I ordered these on eBay quite some time ago, but there were some complications, but they got to me in the end. And I knew going in how small they were, because of the kind of month and a half, whatever it was in between me ordering them and actually receiving them. I kind of forgot how small they were. I mean, these are small. Here's my hand. Next to the second form version, just tiny, and the third form a little bit more satisfying, still very small, but yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily going to scratch that particular itch that I had, a bit of a craving for a second and third form Shin. I know there's X plus maybe 25 centimeter versions out there, so I've seen them. I know that there's a newer version of this guy coming out from someone. Was it Easy Hobby? I think it is. And it comes with the option of getting one with two heads. I think the deluxe version, I really want to try and get that. But in the meantime, these will do. They were very expensive, even though they were secondhand. So it is what it is. I'm a little bit underwhelmed. I mean, they were like over £200 for both of them, because they're just hard to get, you know. The SH Monster Arts stuff goes up in value, especially the Shin Godzilla stuff gets really pricey on the old secondary market pretty quickly. Not the most accurate paint jobs on them, but I'll get down the SH Monster Arts regular Shin up here. I'll just walk on over. We'll get some of these buildings down as well. But drop a like on the video, folks. Subscribe to the channel. Check out all my Shin Godzilla stuff on the channel, review wise I mean. And these two new additions, they're not going to take up too much space, so I'll squeeze them in down the end here somewhere. But this is the fourth form by SH Monster Arts, so that would be the next one you would see after those two. I did completely repaint this one, and I do have the Awakening version as well, which I've reviewed on the channel and done various videos here on the 30 centimeter Sakai, which is incredible. I got the Ban Presto version as well, reviews on the channel for all this stuff. But yeah, we'll get down these buildings from iPop Designs on eBay. We'll utilize those for the review, and we'll get down the fourth form as well. Let's see how this looks with the rest of the gang. Just pop him down here, and you can see the difference in size. And there's the evolution. So that's when he first showed up in Japan, came out of the ocean, bleeding from the gills, couldn't really breathe on land yet, and then suddenly evolved very rapidly into the third form, a bit more recognizable as the Godzilla we start to know and love, you know. And then he disappears for, I forget now how long he disappeared for, back into the ocean. And then when he reappears sometime later, he looks like this. Absolutely awesome movie. Check out Shin Godzilla if you haven't seen it. It's an excellent film from 2016, I think it was, and it's amazing. So while I am honestly a little bit underwhelmed by the scale, that's not their fault. I know how, I knew how big they were when I ordered them, so I'm just being silly there. But it is nice to see them all together like this. We never did see him in his first form, just the tail. There are some images out there in the Art of Shin Godzilla book, which I'm thinking about getting. It's a pricey book. It's about around the 150 mark. But as a big recent Shin Godzilla fan, it might be an idea to obtain that particular book. But yeah, there they are. I'll just show you the pieces without all the distractions, buildings and stuff. I'll get them down in a minute. Just take a look at the second form here. Now the paint job on the second form, to my eye, although not perfect, looks a bit closer to the movie than the third form. In the movie, I remember the third form looking a bit more reddish. That kind of combination of very light brown and kind of red, and just started to look really sore and in pain, like he did in his fourth form, where you could see all that kind of red effect underneath. But I love the third form. When he first kind of stood upright and he's all off balance and he's banging into buildings and falling over and stuff, it It was amazing to see that evolution happen so rapidly. It must have been so painful for Godzilla. I felt really bad for him. Still do, bless him. Bless him. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't assume it's a him either, should I? Not in this day and age. Cancellation for you, Mr. Knight. How dare you? I'll just get them face in front here. You can see how that looks. Alright, so I was just trying to set up a little scene here, but because the second form here is so small and so close to the surface, which in this case is just a Hot Toys box with a black t-shirt on top, at least with the bigger fourth form Shin, you can kind of get away with it by pointing the camera up like this so you don't see the surface it's standing on. But with this, there's not really much avoiding it. But yeah, those buildings by iPop Designs, I did a video recently showing these with both versions of the fourth form, the roaming version as I call it, and the awakening version. Make sure you check out that video. There was a lot of cool photography with fire effects and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that is how the second form looks amongst the buildings. It's pretty cool, but he is very small, and I probably should have waited and thought about it a bit more. Well, he's here. I like having a representation of these early forms of Shin Godzilla, and they don't take up much space, which is a big issue with me. I don't really have any space anymore, so the smaller the better, really, but just not satisfying me as much as the bigger guys. But at least the third form is a bit more chunky, a bit bigger. Let's get him set up amongst the buildings here. Now this, on the other hand, really looks striking straight away. That really creepy kind of posture he has, off balance, just kind of lumbering forward, banging into things. And the buildings definitely help. Yeah, this one looks really cool, I have to say. I mean, the other one, where is he? Little guy. I couldn't even find him. He's so small, he's hiding behind my lamp. Tiny little guy. Oh, bless him. No, I don't mean any offense, dude. I know you're small. It's alright. Don't worry about it. Got those beady fish eyes. And the mouth opens and closes. I haven't even shown you articulation yet. But it does have some pretty good articulation. But look at that. That looks good. Alright, I'm back feeling good again about this purchase. That does look very epic. Maybe we're looking at a thumbnail. I'm feeling that that could be the one. I'd have to incorporate the second form into the picture as well. But that looks very cool. Or at least take a picture of it and put it on Instagram. So follow me on there, folks, at Dean Knight 333. Just give you a little look into the situation here to get him to kind of stand accurately off kind of screen or hidden. I've got a little custom Michael Myers head keeping his tail up to get him to stand up like that. But that looks awesome. I don't even care about seeing the surface with the t-shirt here. I mean, it just looks like a very, very, very clean road. Yeah, that is awesome. Just look at that. Yeah, they're very pricey for the size, but this one in particular, the third form, it's really, really nice looking piece. Fully articulated as well. I'll just try and put him in a extremely kind of different pose to how he looks right now, just to show you how that looks. It's not drastically different, but he's looking up and screaming in pain because that moment when he first suddenly and rapidly changes and shifts and morphs and evolves into his third form here, and he just looks up to the sky and screams, I'm assuming in absolute agony, because something like that would just be beyond excruciating. But the figure can do that look, and you can pose him like that. It's pretty cool. You really got to watch out for paint scratches as well. I noticed a couple of tiny little paint chips, not chips, but just the paint had been rubbed off, I guess, on the very top of his head here. I fixed that with a nice color match some oil-based paint that just happened to be exactly the same tone as the top of his head. But now I've just noticed there's a little bit of paint weirdness going on with the tip of his nose, so I'll have to fix that as well, which is no problem, it's easy. But you've got to watch out for that with the SH Monster or Shin stuff. I've noticed a fair bit of potential for paint chipping. Alright folks, so wrapping up the review, I would give them kind of struggling between a 7 or an 8. 7 is good, 8 is very good. It's somewhere between good and very good. The sculpts are very good, the paint is good, articulation is good, but most importantly really the sculpt is there, that's for sure. They've done a very good job with that. And if you're a big collector of the SH Monster Art stuff, and if you're a fan of Shin Godzilla, they're pretty much essential in this scale to go with your big guy. So yeah, somewhere like, I guess somewhere sweet in the middle, like a 7.5 is what I give them. And I hope you've enjoyed the video. Sorry I didn't pose them too much, I just worried about chipping paint, and there's so many reviews already on YouTube. You can check out articulation demonstrations on there and stuff. But yeah, I'm glad they're here. Fantastic film. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen Shin Godzilla. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you soon, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.